used to use the THC as a means to strengthen the auric field in order to give us more spiritual control if we gift it,
Mm.
right? Because when you are have the spiritual gifts and you haven't learned how to control them, you can inadvertently cause major problems without knowing it to other people,
Mm.
because you can interfere with their energy output input cycles,
Mm.
right? So we always passing psychic messages, but only a few of us is tuned in to the psychic channel to a high enough degree to catch them.
Like I said, that the psychic channel, you got to be tuned into the psychic channel to catch these messages.
Right. So the receiver for the
Mm.
psychic messages don't come in through the brain.
Mm.
They come in through the heart
Mm.
as a telepathic message,
Mm.
right? And then it shoots the chakra shoots the question through your crown chakra to prime creator. When prime creator answers, it comes in as what we call a download. The reason we call it that is because right here on the right side of your head, you have a part of the brain called the anterior gyrus. And it's known to be activated when spiritual people are receiving spiritual messages, right? So our elders knew this and they encoded it in the art and in the architecture. So if we lose track of the oral tradition, we don't have to rely on what they wrote on the paper, because they wrote on the paper to give us the appearance of legitimacy, right? So anybody can be the leader as long as they look the part. But when the real leader comes, all the rest of them have to take a back seat, because the leader in our culture is the one who knows the way, right? So in let's say in YouTube culture, if I wanted somebody to guide me on how to develop my YouTube channel, I come to Brother Rich. Hey, Brother Rich, can you show me how this done? In that case, you then taking the lead, and you also becoming a mentor and a teacher to a mentor and a teacher. So we just switch positions as you explain to me how to develop a YouTube channel, because you know the way already. And the verification that I'm right is in the fact that you have an open and functional YouTube channel, right? And you have a lot of people that listen to your channel. Now, I hear some people complain about certain guests and they not understanding journalism to the degree that you understand journalism. You can't only have the people that I like, right? Sometimes you got to have people that I don't like to give an opposing viewpoint in order to make sure that the viewpoint I gave was even correct. Because if it's not challenged, how are you going to know it's right? Right? So this is what we be exchanging ideas, even under hostile circumstances, would look like an adversarial position, right? So it's not. It still has to be done because the information has to be challenged in order for it to prove itself. Because they say the truth don't need no support, right? They say the truth is like a lion. Turn that motherfucker loose and he'll defend himself, right? So you tell them, don't argue with me, argue with the receipts, and then they get mad. Emotionalism. That's what you call intellectual masturbation. If you into an intellectual pursuit, you can't be um, only because you want it to be that way. You know, I always go back and look over my information. Sometimes I find errors. And when I find an error, it's going to either tell me two things: correct the error or find the wisdom in the error. If it say find the wisdom in the error, then I begin to look at the things that surrounded the error that made me create it, which shows me a Freudian slip, which was a message from my higher self that's overriding what my lower self is saying in order to get my attention on the topic that need to be discussed. So I started to learn to read how my mind processed information and communicate it back to me. That's part of your shadow work as well. It's more of the more pleasing side of shadow work, I should say, too. Because when you start to understand the difference in the communication with yourself and spirit, you also get to differentiate your communication with your parents. Because y'all going to be eternally tied in the heart chakra through this same thing we mentioned earlier called love. And that's what my mama used to always tell me: son, you got to honor both your mama and your daddy that your days may be long on this earth. That means don't take sides in our bullshit. Find a way to make it better for your children than we made it for you, because we made it better for you than our parents made it for us. So it's passing the baton forward by teaching you how to stay in the middle and just follow what's right. And there's never a wrong time to do what's right. Free Larry Hoover. Motherfuckers. Free Chief Malik Angel Bay. Motherfuckers. All the political prisoners. Assata Shakur. Let her come home. Hands off Assata. We
Indeed.
ain't playing.
Got that.
We dead serious, Rich. We dead fucking serious. Hands the fuck off. Look, what
Yeah.
my man say, we might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this, we'll burn this bitch down to
Down,
the
get
center.
gets pissed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tupac.
so we
Rest in
ain't
peace.
playing.
Rest in
We
peace,
cut, we
Tupac.
back for everything they owe.
Uh, talk to him, brother.
We back for everything they owe because we won the game. We conquered the invader who came to conquer us, who swore that we would be their eternal enemy and they would lie in wait for us at every turn,
Mm-hmm.
making secret oaths to kill the kings, the princes, and the people of the land,
Mm-hmm.
putting it in the public domain, revealing that they declared us imbeciles in law by unum sanctum papal bull,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
by papal decree,
Mm-hmm.
instituting something called the white man's burden.
Mm-hmm.
And the white man's burden was to civilize the heathen and wherever he found him in the world in order that they can spread Christendom around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the cause to spread Christendom around the world sprang from the ambitions of Emperor Constantine when he created the church in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now we know what they did. It's a wrap.
Mm.
We back for every fucking thing they owe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Every tribe from the earth tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We all organic from the earth, but we all slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your Mongolians, you have your Huns, you have your Aryavedics, right? You have your Ainu, right? You have your Yin people, right? So when we start going around the world naming all these tribes, you got your Norsemen, your Scotsmen, your Britsmen. They all humans from the earth tribes, and things was done to corrupt the earth tribes by external beings coming from other places. This is what you call a breach in the matrix. The breach in the matrix is the virus in in the Matrix that was Mr. Smith. He was originally created to not have a bias in his performance of the function in the Matrix. But he some kind of way artificial intelligence became slightly conscious enough to want to subjugate, right? And that made it become a virus, a parasite of real.
Indeed. Hey Rod, a couple of questions before. First of all, before I get to the questions, they've been asking. I didn't want to interrupt you, but been asking about your Cash App. It's capital
Capital A,
SIKAPE. Yeah,
capital A
capital
P.
APE. All right, so I'm putting for those asking. I seen y'all asking in the chat, but I didn't want to interrupt the brother. The brother's Cash App, Rod Hayes, $, capital SIK, capital APE. For those who appreciate the brother's work and want to send a donation his way, that is the way to do it. We're gonna get to a couple of Q&A and then we're gonna get out of here, family. But I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We got about 3,000 people. Thanks all of y'all for tuning in tonight and listening. Rod Hayes, what damn, I done forgot the question I was about to ask you. I had a question on my mind. I was gonna ask you. Damn, just forgot what I was about to ask you. But let me get to some Q&A. I want to ask you about what's going on in Europe. We keep hearing about the earth changes that's happening, the downloads that's coming from the sun, the solar flares, this, that. Now there's reports in the news about over 1,900 people dropping dead in Spain because of the heat wave. What's up with the sun, number one? And what's up? What's getting ready to go down with this energy coming from the sun, my brother? Because this is intense right now.
I done an update on Dr. G when I got done doing a task for Big Mama.
Mm, mm.
Soon as I came back from the task, she called me when I walked through the bus door coming from the bus station. And I was telling her about the cycles. Okay, so the Piscean age was the silver cycle, or what we call a lunar cycle. And it is the cycle that facilitates what you call ice ages. We had more than one ice age on Earth, which can be confirmed by the geological surveys. And these ice ages come in the lunar cycles, but when the sun cycle come in, it ushers in what's called the golden age. It's called the golden age for several different reasons, but one of them is that the UVBs and the UVAs, right, the UV rays that's coming in is doing something to the DNA of very specific groups of people. And as the temperatures gonna rise, they can rise as high as on an average of 20 degrees around the world, or as little as 3 to 4 degrees. But it's a temperature increase that comes with a different exposure to the solar rays. And then there's another Walter Disney built a replica of it as the Disney Castle in order for him, because you know he was a mulatto. He was passing. So he was trying to get the memory activated about the castle before they hijacked Disney with all of the pedophile symbolism and programming.
I, I'm down here, so I don't want to talk too much about Disney, but we know what it is. But at
Yeah,
this point, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The centers and stuff like that, I'll be trying to stay away from all that crazy stuff.
yeah. Walter Disney, I think he was 33-degree Freemason.
I just found out that they're owned by the castle, the crown. They're owned by the crown. That's why when the governor down here was trying to go against them, but you
Mm-hmm.
you said something else. I don't want to lose thought. It said something before. Yo, it's crazy. Like I said, you keep going back to the imposters or the ones that they try to be these people. If this is their culture, why wouldn't they want us to talk about it? Why is it they anybody can talk about it, but they don't want us to talk about these ancient ruins and shit? It's almost like it's robotic the way they get on there and they insult people and try to put them down. I like seeing people put out information and knowledge, especially for the kids being on social media and they seeing the shit now. They got points and shit to where they can go. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing what they're doing with Queen Khalifa, the whole Olmec or Z civilizations, because now you understand what you're supposed to be doing as far as this ain't some shit we just made up or some Sunni shit or pseudo shit. This some shit that motherfucker been doing since the beginning of time. Let
Right. Let's go back to when you was talking about the idols, right? Those all of those are what we call statuary, bas relief, relics, temple paintings. That's information. That's not worship. That's
they're
like
saying
writing
prove
a
it,
book.
right? The same people tell you they'll say prove that them people were this, right? This is from I didn't make this. This is from Mexico when we went down there. It's from Yucatan, and this is
Hmm.
how they made the people that's in Yucatan made their people with the little locks, black girl. And when they see us down there, you see their gods, their deities. So these are telling you we ain't got to talk about it. This is what the Arcta are saying. So it's
Okay,
like
now DNA activation. How do you activate something in your DNA? Every codon is the time is information. Where do you process information? In the mind, right? When you become aware of something, the information reveals to you, and you have that aha moment. That is a codon activation of your DNA. If one of us is showing these relics, and somebody have a past life flashback aha moment, the spell is permanently broken on the individual. That aha moment, yeah, that aha moment is activating DNA codons. That's the light codes. Hey, what that piece right there? Hey, me and you got to talk about that one.
that's a bison horn. They called
Yeah,
it this. You think they had time to do anything in the world? These is they'll tell you don't fuck with it, right? They'll say prove it, and then I prove it because I didn't make none of that. Those is artifacts. Art. This is the art that our ancestors said facts. They put our faces on like, bro. I can go all day. You know what I'm saying? When you were talking about the temple of the temple of the monkey, and it's
yep.
going all up and down the Mississippi, and all, like I have artifacts. You know what I'm saying? That's why we all need to be in the artifacts. That's the culture that we can. Oh, also, if we're gonna say we Olmecs are amazing farmers, and right now the new representative of Trump says he'll pay farmers. So I think we most definitely need to start talking about getting some land and farming. And getting, if we're gonna say we don't talk about everybody want to be Olmec till it's time to do Olmec shit. Let's start farming and getting on this. You know what I'm saying? Get
Man,
master farming.
listen, man. There's gonna be too many rich niggas. They not gonna want to get their fingers dirty. I'm just being honest with you.
I'm again.
Listen, most of us gonna have to find people to hire to work the farm to help us work the farm because ain't we lazy, man. We lazy not because we inherently lazy. We have a refusal to work that's been programmed over 400 years. So the first opportunity we get to not have to work, we taking full advantage of it. If I got enough money in reserve to live my life how I want to live it, I'm not going to work. That's just how these niggas is. They not going to work. Nigga hit the lottery. Look, they got memes. How I'm gonna be sitting waiting to tell my boss that I'm not giving any notice. And they got all them different people sitting in the seats different ways, talking about when they get rich, how they gonna quit their job. Now, just think about it. Now, we going into a golden age, which is going to unlock a lot of tribal wealth. A lot of families is going to be fighting about who going to run the family bank, right? It's a system of checks and balances, but we don't know who got the check, so we can't balance the books. You understand me?
Gold standard. Pay attention to this
So
shit.
look. Um, they had a case came out, Moore versus some credit union. I think it's First Savings Credit Union, and it was a Supreme Court case. The argument was about the fiat. You've been taking people's stuff, and fiat has no value. That means that you've been stealing the valuables because somebody don't have the value less, right? So the ruling came out that they had to compensate them people for taking their house in the mortgage fraud. They had to compensate them people for taking their car in the repo fraud. All of their contracts was predicated up on fraudulent contracts and our ignorance, because ignorance is no excuse to the law. The Pope's Papal Bull said the reason that he was taking control of all of the souls on earth because we was all imbeciles, unable to administer our own affairs in our own estates, right? So this is the prerequisite to the doctrine of discovery, which sent out the Catholic Church to administer the affairs of everybody on the planet, because they was what they call inept. They was no more than children in the eyes of the laws. They can't administer their own estate. How long did Noble Drew Ali say he gonna leave these people in power? Till we learn how to run a government, right? And the only way to learn how to run government is to study government. You got to know how they work, who running it, where they at, how they hiding from the.
He's a regular. I see you all the time, blockchain monkeys. All right, who else? Empress, Noble Royalty. I'm looking to see if I see some regulars. Barbara Saunders. Barbara is a regular. Shout out to Barbara for always tuning in. I recognize that name. Yeah, let's get started. My brother Rod Hayes, man, I appreciate you coming on again. Like I said, you out there, you lining, you typing your name on YouTube. You all over the place, man. They got you all over. Do you have your own YouTube channel yet, or you didn't create one?
I never created one. I just told the people that was listening to me if they seen something they liked that I said, clip it out, put it on YouTube. Cause I have a channel, but
Hmm.
you need so many before you can go live on there. And
Right.
my computer that I would have been moving all my videos with went down. So